This question is about a right square prism. So let's talk for a second about what is a prism and how do you find its volume. A prism has the same shape on opposite sides stretched apart like an accordion. For instance, I might have this triangle and I might have a similar triangle, an exact same triangle on the opposite side. And if they're stretched apart like an accordion, then that's what a prism is. And the volume of the prism is capital B times H. Capital B because it's not a length, it's an area. It's the area of the base. Now, in most situations, we would consider the base to be the bottom because that's what it's sitting on, it's the base. But for a prism, the definition is really important because we're talking about having the same shape on opposite sides, and those opposite sides are the base. So you need to know that for a prism, if you're getting the volume, it's one of the identical pieces. That's the base, that area, multiplied by the distance to the opposite one. So the height is the distance to the opposite identical face. And so that would be the height, and that right there is the base. So applying that to this situation, we have a right square prism. In other words, the bottom of it is a square, and that's why the question only needs to tell us one side length because we've got a square anyway. So let's just imagine something that has a square at the top and a square at the bottom that we can't really truly see. Just cleaning this up a little bit. So if this is 6 and the bottom of it is a square, that means that all four sides of that square base are all 6. And we don't know the distance to the opposite square, which is the height. In the diagram I drew before, the height went sideways because it was the distance between the two identical triangles. Here, it's the actual vertical height because that just happens to be where the space between the two identical squares is. But if the volume is the area of the base times the height, the area of the base is 36 because it's a square with sides of 6 and 6. The height is what we don't know, and the volume is 2,880. Now we can divide both sides by 36, 2,880 divided by 36, and that gives us a height of 80, which is answer choice D for this question.